is theme-specific training for response. This is a theme-specific training for responsive Meals on Wheels sites in theme number 3 and 777. Other theme-specific trainings can be found on the support site at support.1h.com. You will find trainings for all of our responsive Meals on Wheels themes there. This training today will show you how to manage the rotor images on the home page. The rotor image is kind of in the middle of the homepage underneath your 3 promo items, and they do appear above your social media feeds and the current menu items. The slideshow does scroll through the images. You do also have the ability to scroll through those images yourself. This image is just kind of a static image. You do have the ability to link this image to another page if you would like to. There is no title, no teaser text, nothing appears over this image. It's just kind of a nice plain kind of scrolling gallery of images for you to either add to or update. To add new rotor images to this area, first of all, you want to make sure that you have a rotor image that's the correct size. These images need to be at least 2,000 pixels wide by 510 pixels tall. That's 2,000 pixels wide by 510 pixels tall. And then next, you want to make sure that this image is more of a landscape orientation. If this image is taller than it is wider, that means that you will have to use a cropping tool to potentially crop some of the top of the head or the rest of the picture out at the bottom because it's not oriented correctly for this area. Now, if you would like to edit one of the existing rotor images, all you have to do is go ahead and click on the word content up here in your content management filter. From here, this gives you the ability to search specifically by a content type. We are going to go with front page rotor image. Go ahead and click on filter. You'll see from here that we have 3 rotor images that we can edit, delete, and clone as needed. If I go ahead and click on that first one, I can change the title. The title is what we would use to find it in our list of content. It does not show out on the rotor itself. So this is just, that title is what you're going to find it in your list of content. But feel free to update that title. You can also update this image. Now again, this image will always keep you to a ratio of 2,000 by 510 pixels. If this image is larger than 2,000 by 510, you can use this cropping tool to kind of find the portion of the image you want to see or use. Now, please note that this will keep you to a very specific dimension and not let you kind of get outside of that, so that way you don't end up with an image looking very pixelated or grainy, and that you don't have any extra space in the image. So be aware, again, that landscape orientation might be very difficult if you're using a very tall portrait image. But again, make sure you have an image that's at least 2,000 pixels wide by 510 pixels tall to begin with. As I mentioned, you have the ability to change out this URL or make sure that this image will link to another page. You also have the ability to add in a weight. Now, the weight would be a specific number that this item would appear in the slideshow. So if you want this to be the 3rd slide, then you'd go ahead and put 3. Or if you want it to be the 1st, then you'd put 1. But please note, if you are not going to weight all of your rotors, then you shouldn't weight any of them. Because if you weight some of them and not others, they will not appear in the way that you want them to. That organization will not kind of cycle through. They all need to be weighted, or none of them need to be weighted. You do not have to worry about putting anything here in the body area. It actually doesn't appear on the home page anywhere, and most people won't actually go to a rotor page itself. So no worries about putting anything in the body. Once you've made any changes, go ahead, save your work, and check the home page. You want to make sure that any edits that you've made to a rotor image are noted right there. Now, if you want to add a rotor image, all you have to do is go to Content, Add Content, and Front Page Rotor Image. And you can add in a brand new slide yourself. You'll want to put in a title. Again, that title is used to find that image in your list of content, never displays on the image itself. You can browse your computer for a new image to add in here. Once you've uploaded the image, if it is larger than 2,000 by 510, you can use that cropping tool. Don't forget, if you would like this image to point to another page, you can put the page title, or if it is a page off of your website, you can put the full URL in there. Otherwise, if it's just a page on your website, you can go ahead and add in the page title, which is anything that appears after the first / in that page name. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you also have the ability to add in a weight if you would like this image to show up in a very specific order in your slideshow. And then last but not least, forget that body exists, as it doesn't show up anywhere. Once you've saved your work, check the home page, make sure that your rotor image is showing correctly and that it's potentially showing up in the correct order as well. If you have any questions about how to create new rotor images or edit existing rotor images on your website, go ahead and feel free to submit a support ticket at support.oneeach.com. Or if you were in Basecamp working on a brand new site, go ahead and post a new Basecamp message for your project management team. And don't forget to watch any other helpful tutorials out on our support site at support.oneeach.com.